Kata ayahku, kebaikan datang dari apa yang kita tanam sejak matahari terbit. Dan dari matahari terbit pagi inilah satu kebaikan dimulai. Ceritaku berawal dari tempat ayahku bekerja, di sebuah ladang yang terhampar luas. Apa yang ia tanam hari ini dan keringat yang ia teteskan membawa banyak perubahan. Alif, ayo. Assalamualaikum, Mak. Kepada bendera merah putih, hormat, gerak. Ayahku selalu bilang, ilmu adalah matahari. Anak-anak, ada yang tahu jawabannya? Saya, Bu. Karena dengan ilmulah terang benderangnya masa depan. Ibuku merajut lewat tangannya, mengolah satu kebaikan hingga jadi kebaikan lainnya. Untuk membawa kebaikan harus dimulai dari kesehatan, agar kaki-kaki mereka nanti kuat melangkah. Ayahku juga bilang, kebaikan berawal dari bibitnya.
Dari biji buah sawit ini banyak sekali yang mengandung kebaikan.
Karena bibit yang baik, buahnya bisa dituai dan berguna di masa depan. Di sini, semua orang saling mendukung. Karena lewat dukungan, semakin banyak kesempatan untuk terus berkembang. Dan membuka pintu untuk cerita-cerita lainnya. Ini ceritaku.
Ladies, gentlemen, all the distinguished guests, good afternoon and good day from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm the Vice Chair of Indonesian Biofuel Producer Association. Want to make a presentation about the Indonesian palm oil-based biodiesel as a journey, long journey for renewable energy and affordable energy in Indonesia. First of all, I would like to present to you what drive us to run the biofuel program in 2005-2006. At the time, Indonesia became net oil importer. Why it became shock us? Because more than 100 years, Indonesia was the oil producer, right? Then suddenly in the 2006, we became net importer. And then at the time, oil price was approached to 150 US dollar per barrel. And of course, Indonesia have a lot of programs such like poverty alleviation, employment opportunity, and environment program such as greenhouse gas emission reduction. And at the end, Indonesia became the biggest palm oil producers. And what is the Indonesian position in the biofuel production in the world, producer in the world? In the last 20 years, the biofuel in the world produced tenfold. And the Asia Pacific area, which is where Indonesia located, the biofuel in Indonesia increased incredibly, right? And in Asia Pacific, as you could see, we produce fivefold within 20 years. And it is because of Indonesia producing a lot of biodiesels in Indonesia. Now I want to make a present to you about the Indonesian biodiesel industry. In the last 10 years, right, we really upgrade, we really adding a lot of capacity of our biodiesels, right? You could see from 2006 to 2020, now we produce about 12 million kiloliter install capacity. It's very huge, I think. And it produced by the 20 companies in Indonesia today. And this is the journey, our journey actually. And I will here you could see from 2011 until 2019, we started actually from 2006 with 5% B5. Then in 2011 became 2.715. Then the B10, then the B15, B20, and B30 now today. And it started in the 2008, we got a subsidy actually just for the oil who has supported and subsidized by the government, PSO, public service obligation, right? Then the subsidy was stopped in 2003, 2005, until 2005. Why? Because Indonesia became deficit in the trade. So we continue again the biodiesel program in 2015 by the form of the oil palm plantation fund. And the fund we collected from the export, right, of palm oil, then will be supported to the replanting, research, and also for the biofuels, right? And then that's why now we are enjoying the support from the OPPF, and we could continue the biodiesel program in Indonesia. And how about it in the 2020? We have a special year actually. First of all, because of the oil fell down, as you know, became a minus at the time, the price, and also the price of the, the palm oil also came down, and the pandemics. As you could see in the April and May, the production is went down, then up again in the August, September, and then down again in the December. And the total of Indonesian biodiesel consumption is 8.5 million kiloliters, right? Now, a lot of people are asking, yeah, because we have using a lot of palm oil, and then how many percent the palm oil we use for the biodiesel? This is the distribution map of the palm oil. Most of our palm oil was exported. Yeah, the export is about the 66% of our palm oil. The rest, 34%, is for the domestic. And from the domestic, of course, is processed for the food, for the biodiesel, oleochemicals. And the biodiesel production for domestic took about 14% from the 2020 palm oil production. And this year, our projection that the biodiesel could use more than 15%, 15.2% from the palm oil production in Indonesia. Now, a lot of people also asking about the sustainability. How about the sustainability of the palm oil and also the biodiesel? It's some information for all of you. First of all, is Indonesia has implemented the moratorium on deforestation or any use since 10 years ago, actually. And also moratorium for the new palm plantation since 2018. And the government also formed the so-called peat restoration board. The aim is to restore the peat in Indonesia. And we have some criteria, some standard, such kind like ISPO, and also the palm oil sustainability standard RSPO, right? And then also some of the company also have certified from ISCC, for instance. So we continue to develop the biofuel environment friendly processing technology. This is very important about the sustainability. Now, the other thing is about the role of the biofuel to achieve the percentage of renewable energy target in 2015 in energy transition. Right? And this is the if you compare to energy mix, the renewable energy in 2007 takes 7%. In 2025, it became more than 25%. Right? And what is the biofuel or the biodiesel? I mean, the role also over there. It is the renewable energy contribute about 10% of the target of in the 2020, and then 23% in the 2025, and 31% in 2050. And the biodiesel currently has reached 30% already, right? So we will push that Indonesia will use another biofuels, such kind like bioethanol, biohydrocarbon, and other things, right? And of course, it requires a lot of commitment from all the stakeholders in Indonesia, right? And the biodiesel contribution on emission reduction, for instance, right? It's huge, right? Last year, 2020, we could reduce about 22.48 million ton CO2 equivalent, right? And this year, our projection, we could use 25.4 million ton CO2 equivalent. It means that for instance, last year, our contribution is reducing 22% of our target for energy and transportation, actually. And this year, we will hope that we could use a lot of biodiesels and we could reduce 59% of our target in energy and transportation sector. How about the target in 2030, for instance? It is the target on 2030. We have to reduce 314 million ton CO2 equivalent. And our contribution for the 2030, today, it is 7.8%, reducing the emission, right? And what other sector of the sustainability? We could reduce the diesel fuel imports. As you know that a lot of importer, I mean the oil, right? It has become increasing year by year. So that's why we try to reduce the import of the fossil fuel. And last year, we could reduce to import the diesel fuel 8.37 million kiloliter. It means about the 2.7 billion US dollar, right? So in this year, we're expecting that we could reduce 9.2 million kiloliter biodiesel. It means about 3.8 billion US dollar. It is our target this year, right? And also for the economy. So our biodiesel program is also used for maintaining world palm oil prices. As you could see in the charts, you see, when we implement the B20 at a time for public service obligation and non-public service obligation, the oil palm price came down, then went up. Went up, I mean, this in the significant numbers actually. But as you know, we got a pandemics and then down again and up again until now. Today, the biodiesel price in the world is about 1,000 and more than 1,100 US dollar per ton. And also, of course, the palm oil, right? And then this is very useful to make our farmer more prosper, our smallholder more prosper. We have a 2.7 family of the palm oil in the palm oil industry, and farmers and then smallholders, right? This economy. So how about the challenges? A lot of challenges. In the last 15 years, we're facing a lot of challenges. First of all, it is the challenges about the quality. Every step, if we if we're using more percentage of the biodiesel, for instance, be 10, be 15, be 20, or we have to change the standard. And we have to make our quality better and better, right? It is the biggest challenge for us, for industry. And of course, the stakeholder support. Without support from all the stakeholder support, the biodiesel in Indonesia cannot be done, right? We learn also from another country, our neighborhood, such kind like Malaysia, Thailand, and Philippines, for instance. They agreed with us that the biodiesel program should gather support from all the stakeholders, right? And the pricing policy, as you know, that the biodiesel price almost always above the oil price. This is that we could manage the mechanisms how to overcome this problem, right? And the trade barriers, as you know that we are exporting a lot of biodiesels, and we are facing a lot of trade barriers in the world, right? And this is our journey actually, and then we facing a lot of rocks as a barriers, right? As obstacle of our trade, our export. In 2009, for instance, we are facing the RAD 1 from EU. Then the 2030, we're facing about the subsidy acquisition from the EU. Then it was stopped. Then continue with the 2013 dumping cases, and we bring it to the WTO and DS 480, and we won. Then in the 2017, the US also accusing us the subsidy and dumping also. Now the case is in the CIT, right? In the Court of International Trade in New York. Then in the 2018, we're facing again with the EU subsidy, right? Then in the 2019, now we're facing the RED 2 and the delegated regulation, right? Now the case is in the WTO, and not only us, but Malaysia also brought this case in the WTO, right? And how about the challenges in the pandemic and mitigating measures? We are very lucky. Why? Because the government and all stakeholders support to continue BRI-30 program, even we have in the pandemics. And then, of course, we have a potential to reduce the using the diesels and, of course, biodiesels. And the OPPF, the Oil Palm Plantation Fund, also make a lot of adjustment to support a lot of the program, replanting, research, and others, and also the biofuels, biodiesel, and reducing the gap range, the diesel prices and biodiesel prices. And there is possibility that we will get a support from the government budget, but we are still talking about this one. And we are facing slowing investment, both the development and the investment. And the conclusion is, first of all, we will continue to produce the biodiesel. Our projection in 2021, it is about 9.2 million kiloliters. And then, of course, we could export about 1 million kiloliter this year. And the B40 now is in the progress for the implementation for 2022, right? And then we developed the product like biohydrocarbon, the diesel biohydrocarbon, the gasoline biohydrocarbon, and after biohydrocarbon, and also we are trying to using a lot of kind of feedstock other than the palm oil, and of course we improving the technology. And in this year, B30 program, our projection again 9.2 million kiloliter. It means what? It means about the 57.8 million barrels. It means that it's similar than the 77 days of Indonesian oil production. produced by 20 companies, right? And then the upstream's worker more than 1.1 million, and increasing the farmers' income and also reducing a lot of CO2 emission in Indonesia. Now, the conclusion is the biodiesel program supporting the SDGs, right? Sustainable Development Goals. A lot of goals over there supported by the biodiesel program, and reducing the fossil fuel imports, and resilience and affordable. This is very important for our country, that our biodiesel is make us resilient, our uh, energy security, and also affordable and significant for the economy impact, right? And for the answering for the pandemic challenges with the keyword synergy, because we have to make a synergy for all the stakeholders in Indonesia. So with this slide, I will end on my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and if you need question or something like that, you could address to our association. Again, thank you and have a nice day.